Chase all this bread, though the shit won't last. About to shut the city down like a crypto crash. Stacking my coin.
Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Okay. Ready?
Fucking thing sucks! We'll do it live. Okay.
That's right, ladies and gents. We're doing a live Super Crypto Blood, and welcome to some live free trades, ladies and gents. Hit the like button as we get started this morning. Get into some trades. We saw a market pop right out the gate, which is good for me because I was long anyway. Let me see if I can bring up the charts again. Hit that like button on the way in. This is one of the only shows that give you free trades that you can actually go home with. You can actually put these trades in your bag, ladies and gentlemen. Not a woulda, coulda. Oh, I did this right here in the past. And no, we trade live, ladies and gents. We trade live. Let's go. There's a confluence here, and you know, like I said, I ain't talking about nobody. I'm just literally talking because I don't even watch anybody else trading shows to know what they do. So I'm just making shit up. Maybe other people do give you good free trades. Let me know who gives you good free trades in the chat room right now. I would love to know. Live. Let me know. So let me see if I can bring up our situation for today. Or situations. Maybe it should be plural. I just got to bring up Trading View and the Bloodalytics signals. Let's see. What it's going to be. Oh, duh. Again, show me some love in the chat room right now. If you're watching on X, drop me a line. I see about 10 people, 11 people over there on X. Drop me some love in the chat on X right now. I know it's a little difficult. I can't wait until X gets their act together and they actually have a proper video streaming service. That's going to be legendary. Can't wait for that. Cannot wait for that. All right, so let's pull up what we got going on here in the markets. We got a nice pop out the gate, starting the U.S. zone. It literally, what did I tell you last week? I said we're setting up for what? We're setting up for who? We're setting up for a Mike Jones. No, we're setting up for a Bart Simpson. And very, very close. I mean, what do you upside down Bart Simpson? There you go, right there. What I do? I drew the eyes, his nose. I told you, upside down Bart Simpson. That's exactly what we got. So crazy, right? Absolutely insane. That's exactly what we got so far. So we're back above the Trump top. Back above the Trump top, which was a very critical zone for us. But it was like dead, man. We were straight dead for days. 1, 2, 3 days. So Friday was pretty dead. We had a little volatility, and then we got nothing over the weekend. Sometimes we would get something over the weekend. We got absolutely nothing over the weekend. This is the weekend right here. From here to here, dead. That's Friday right there. So when it goes silent like that, a big move is on the way. A big move is on the way. And as I thought, we got it. So upside down Bart Simpson pattern in play. What we got to look out for here is this A right here. So we got to get a clearance above 114, but structurally it's just looking, price action wise, it's looking good. It looks like we're going to take that out, and our next stop will be right there at that yellow line. That's pretty much all. I mean, we do have 114,990 as a potential stop as well, which is just simply very close to that the A area, which is basically the previous support area, which is right here. So if I draw a horizontal line right here, let's change that color a little bit to Cameron pink. There you have it. So we got that pink line is where we will find some resistance. And we just take it one step at a time over here, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we do. That's what we do. But, I'm long, up 84% on that Bitcoin long. Okay. I can't get out of this screen. Jeez Louise. Up 77% on the Ethereum long. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Amen. And that's on Blowfin. We're going to try to play some trades over on MGBX. Shout out to MGBX and BYDFi. But this is my algo automatic trading over on Blowfin. So if you guys are interested in that, check it out. Bloodalytics.com for the hedge analytics service. Trade your funds automatically for you with my system of 8 different algos on 8 different pairs. So definitely check that out when you can, my man. We got Red Elephant in the building. We got Off Near in the house. My guy, legendary OG fellas right there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the actual algos. Let's see what we got for a free trade. Try to give you guys a free trade today. It's lesson time. Unfortunately, we're well past our trade for Bitcoin. This is why I tell you guys with the Scalpalytics Pro, always trade. I suggest, I can't tell you what to do, but I suggest trading during the US zone with the Scalpalytics Pro. Okay. It's where you're going to get your highest hit rate of accuracy. And also you gotta pay attention. Like, it ain't just set it and forget it. You gotta, you can set at least your stop loss with Scalpalytics, and your first take profit, which you guys should know by now. Your first take profit with Scalpalytics is what's called an L chicken or S chicken. If you're going short, it's an S chicken. But that is your 50% take profit, and that those levels are always going to be set in the tooltip. You're going to always see that in the tooltip on the actual chart when you're activated. So your first take profit will be that first line. Your stop loss will be that last line. And then, you know, you don't have to worry about the running P&L. But yeah, that will give you an idea of where we are in the markets. So it was flatline all the way even through London. The algo tried to go short on Bitcoin at about 851 during the Euro trade zone. But if you would have just waited until New York, you would have been able to get that buy right there at 943. Bada boom, bada bing, right there. And then took 50% of our profits right here and letting the rest ride. Same scenario with Ethereum. You would have gone long at 944 this morning, right after the open, and boom, taking your first 50% take profit up there and letting the rest ride. Lock in those gains. But you have to be patient, and also just remember, never, like, let's say you open your charts up with Bloodalytics, don't try to chase a trade. If we're already in the trade, leave this trade alone. Don't go getting in and then thinking you're going to set your stop loss down here where the original one. You've messed up your risk profile out the gate. You just, yeah, you know, I thought you were street smart.
Bro.
Leave the trade alone. Wait for another one. You missed it. You missed the bus. Crisscross. You missed the bus. So don't worry about it. As long as you're live and the markets are active, you can trade another day or at another time during the day. You only enter trades at entry or below entry. In this case, below entry would have been, you know, anything below this long or at this long. That's where you enter your trades, never above, because it messes up your risk profile. Anything above entry, you still need, because the way this stop loss is, how I have this program, this is not just some arbitrary stop loss. There's some meaning behind these stop losses. So this stop loss level is very important, because many times you'll see the markets sweep and try to tap you out in those stop losses during, you know, normal volatile trading periods. It'll get close. It'll try to tap you out. Now here's an example here. You know, this is from last week. This is on Friday's sequence of trades. We went long on Bitcoin. Sweep down, a sweep down to try to take us out. But you know, multiple times I've seen even closer than that. Here you go. Here's an example. Friday morning. This is Eurozone. I wouldn't have traded this, but you see we went short here. Came up all the way into the line. Actually into the line. So that's another thing to understand about the number that I give you is actually not the number you see on like in the line. It's actually a bit higher or lower to give you some room on your exchange. So just keep that in mind. So I don't have a trade for you as of now. However, I might dip. I'm gonna dip into my bag. I'm dipping into my bag, y'all. Let's dip into the bag. Bag of tricks, that is. So I'm going to give you a short trade on XRP. From my Skunkworks signal. So you want to go short on XRP right now. Let me hit a refresh. Do a really refresh. Oh, yes. A refresh. But you can at least enter your short right now. See what happens with this short. Now, this is highly speculative trading right here. So just trade your own risk. But I'm going to at least give you a trade. You dig? You dig? All right, so what we have going on here is this is from my Skunkworks. I'm highly developmental here, but we just closed out of a long that we were in on XRP over the weekend. This one here is trades all day, every day. It doesn't take a break over the weekends or anything like that. But this short here just went short on XRP. Stop loss is at roughly 293.61 is your stop. And with this system, we take all the profits. We close the entire trade down here. So you're closing your entire trade. So this is going to be able to give you an actual real look at a like fully, if it goes in our direction, it's going to give you the full trade. You don't have to second guess because, you know, with Scalpalytics, it kind of gives you a you know where your stop, where your first take profit is, which is 50% of your trade, but you don't know anything else because it's everything else is dynamic. However, here we take all the profits at this line. Now, we may get down in this zone and take some TPs, but at least you know where your full exit is on this trade. So your exit is at 287.07 on this short, with almost a 1 and 2 risk reward. It's at a 1.7, 1 to 1.7 risk reward for this trade. So check that one out. If you will. Yeah, we definitely went crazy on this trade. BNB went crazy as well. This is all experimental. This is my Skunkworks lab signal here, guys. But I'm just showing, I'm just toggling through here to see if I can give you anything else. Not yet. I mean, it looks like we're very close to the long trade that we just entered at 9.53 on Ethereum. We entered a second long. Basically, we closed out the long that was from Sunday. Closed, you know, had a couple take profits here. Those are 25% take profits there, but we ended up closing the entire long right here at 9.50, and then we turned around and went long again at 9.53ish. Okay, but I got about 5,600 XRP short on the table right now over on MGBX. Shout out to MGBX, baby. This is the trade on MGBX right now. I just went short on for XRP. See what happens there. So that's your free trade for today. See how it pans out. Again, this is highly experimental. All these signals that I give, free signals, are do your own research, viewer discretion advise, all that stuff. Don't follow it. It's for entertainment purposes only. It's for educational purposes only. All those disclaimers. Let me just give them to you. Hit that like button, ladies and gents. Let's get the likes up. Likes are looking abysmal right now. Let's get those likes up on the stream, because we have, how many people we have in the building right now? Yeah, we got to get these likes up, guys. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So show me some love. Get those likes up on the stream right now, so we get more people in here. But yeah, I think what we have going on here is essentially a breakout that has occurred. Now, will this breakout survive? I personally think it's looking good. I think it's looking good. But I want to go back to, we got the free trade out the way. Went short on XRP. As you guys can see here. Entry was at $2.91 on XRP. We'll see if that pans out for us. And here your stop loss at the top there, your take profit, which is in this signal, is you're taking all of the profits here at this $2.87 range. But what I want to do now really quickly is go back over to this chart and take a look at what we have here. Exactly what happened, what I said would happen, ended up happening from last week. Remember these arrows? And I said question mark, and I had a bounce off of the green area. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened. We bounced off of the green trend line, which is the outer trend line from last week that I drew. We bounced exactly off that area. And now we're back above the yellow, the pissy yellow trend line, which is excellent. Jerome Jones in the building. What's going on, brother? Thanks for tuning in. This is great news. We're back above the pissy yellow train. So now we're going to the avocado line. This is a real one we need to get above. And you guys should know, this is my favorite chart of all, in all of crypto. This is my favorite chart. Crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So those two are not involved or included in this data series, this data set. Everything except those two, which gives you a very strong look at the altcoin and really the entire crypto markets, to be honest with you. So what we have here is a very clear indication. What I do is map my a version of the the crypto Bloodalytics signal. I map that on top of this as well to give me even more indication of what's going on. So you see, we saw a cross over the bloodline at 5 p.m. Sunday, which would have given you a bullish overall sentiment in the markets. So that's great. That crossover is excellent. And we're now pushing towards that trend line there. Let me just do a refresh because this scaling is all messed up. But we're pushing towards that avocado trend line. But we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, because we actually need to break above this, actually break above it and close above it, for some significant time. So just keep that in mind. We don't want to get ahead of our skis and go do something crazy because we haven't closed above that line. So let's see what happens. We got to see what happens, ladies and gents. Got to see what happens. So what we have today, as far as trends, ETH is trending big time. Okay, ETH is definitely trending big time. And why is ETH trending right now? Well, ETH just closed. This is crazy. And I need to actually pull this. Remember, I pulled this up the other day. Is it CoinGlass? Yeah, CoinGlass. ETH just ended Q3, quarter 3, with a freaking 60% return, bro. That is insane. Look at this. Q3 2025, 65% return. Now, this is the biggest quarterly return we've seen since inception, which says a lot. This actually says a hell of a lot. Y'all let me know what you think, what it means to you. But I don't know, man. I tell you what I think it means. This is Wall Street. This is Wall Street. Q3 returns for Ethereum, all-time high for Q3. Now, we've seen other quarters do significantly better. 2000s. I remember this is when I got into Ethereum. 2017, 443%. We're not going to see those types of returns again. Law of large numbers. We're not going to see those types of returns again. House of Trades in the building. Hi, been in the house. They're the usual suspects. Okay. We place a trade on MGBX to go short on XRP using my very experimental signal. Okay. Out of this world signal. So trade at your own cost, as your own. All of my signals should be traded that way, to be honest with you. Yeah, but we just simply didn't have any trades, guys, on deck for Scalpalytics Pro because we've already taken profits here on Ethereum. Took 50% of our profits there. Took another 25% there on this long. We caught the pop, and we caught the pop for Bitcoin as well at 940 this morning. So we're too far in the money to give you anything on that side of the coin. However, in my effort to give you something, I had to reach down in my trick bag and pull out something for you to maybe go home with for educational purposes, right? But back to this. So this is very interesting here. Best Q3 ever with Ethereum, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these average and means. Medium is at 8%. 8%. And we're at 65% this quarter. Now, typically, we do see Q4 for Ethereum. You look at its entire lifespan, Q4 is the strongest quarter. So I feel like, so let's take a look at some of the other sequence of quarters, because this is the closest one we have, which is from 2020. So 2020, we had a 59% return for Q3 versus this 2025 Q3, 65%. But what followed this 59%? 100%. So it's not like we see, it seems as though we see a continuation most of the time. Exceptions, of course, to every rule. 24% next quarter, negative 10%. This was just the best year, 17. That's when it really popped. You had the whole ICO boom and all that. So, quarter two, Q2, you had 400. Q1, we had 500%. 9% for Q3, took a cool off period, but 142 in Q4 of that year. And that was a high, man, that was a high year for Ethereum. So I really can't, I really feel like you might see a positive performance here in Q4 for Ethereum, but it's all delegated. It's all hinging on if the stock market can keep itself together, if these wars don't heat up, which they seem to be heating up. These escalations and war talks are heating up. So you already know it, man. Bloodalytics print money. You already know it, my friend. If you stick to the script, you're going to make money. You are going to make money, my friend. 65%. Yeah. Yeah. Best Q3 in Ethereum's history just happened, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that amazing? That's crazy. These returns are better than the stock market. I'll take it. So far, yeah, but diminishing returns, my friend. I'm not saying we're there yet, but these returns will diminish over time as more players enter the market. See, the reason why you see these outsized returns is because the market was smaller, more traders, more opinions, less volatility over time. So you start this, it's a slope to lower volatility as a market matures. So don't think that you'll continue to get these types of outsized returns over the stock market. And also think about this. There's a caveat or a flip side to everything, right? And the caveat to the flip side to this situation of very good returns to the upside is that when bear markets begin, bull markets end, the losses are catastrophic. I mean, you got people getting online crying, and you know how I crypto blood, because I've been in this for a long time, guys. Over damn near 13 years. I know the bull, we're really in the midst of the bull or bear market, I should say. It's when I start seeing people be philosophical online. When the philosophical tweets start coming out about crypto and family first, go touch some grass, go touch some ass, go touch, go look out the glass. All these philosophical tweets that I start seeing, life is more than just about crypto. You got to spend time with the family. You got to spend time with your kids. Go kiss your mother, hug the babies. All that, man, when I start seeing that, I say, yeah, we're here. We're here, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. So when you start seeing the suicide hotline numbers go out on Twitter, on X and all, yeah, that's when you're in the thick of it. And actually, that's when you want to start slowly loading the boat, because sentiment has gone way too far. It has swung way too far to the other side. So that's actually your contra indicator to know when to get back in the markets. When you get out the markets is when everybody is talking about, everyone's a trader, everyone's making money. You can't miss. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? You can't miss a dunk. Slam dunking it. D Brown. You pump up the sneakers and you commence to dunk on these hoes, right? You just everything you hit just hitting. Everything hitting. That's when you want to get out. And so are we there yet? I would say I would say, yeah, we're close. And I'm not even talking about crypto. It's more so stocks. Like these stocks are just unbelievable. Nothing goes down. Everything, the Mag 7, it just keeps going up and up and up. Nothing phases the Mag 7. Whales never miss the boat. They bring it back to the day. There you go, my friend. I love that one. That's a great one. I love that one. That's a good one. So we're close. We're not there in crypto, but we're there in the stock market, man. Like these, it's just insane. When I'm looking outside and I'm seeing people not eating, I'm seeing stores, whole strip malls vacant, stores, restaurants closed. I can't be the only one. I cannot be the only one seeing this stuff. So it has to catch up at some point. But markets can say what they say irrational longer than you can stay solvent. That's the old wisdom bars for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So interesting fact there. Ethereum Q3 best in its history, 65% return. What does that mean for Q4, which we're going into now? You let me know in the chat room. Do we see a sequence where 59% like in 2020 and then we get a 104? But the 2020 was the printing, historically the biggest print show we've seen. So I have to use that whole 2020 as an outlier. You got it, all this, even this whole chunk here, 2020, 21 outliers. So if I'm a data scientist, I'm looking at this, I'm decreasing the weight on these 2 years by a significant amount. So I can't just make a correlation with 2020 Q3 to Q4 because of the circumstances of this block here. Pandemic, $12 trillion worth of money printed. Can't do it. That you'll be doing yourself a disservice comparing that. So I personally think that you're not going to get as good of a performance or even near the performance in Q4 this go round for 2025 because you've just essentially, Wall Street has pulled a lot of those gains from Q4 ahead, meaning they pulled them into Q3, and you're going to have little to no liquidity. I won't say no liquidity, but very little liquidity to keep the money train going for Ethereum in Q4. That's just my hypothesis, my thesis on it. You let me know in the chat room, and if you're watching this afterwards, in the comments below. Yeah, exactly. Unprecedented money printing there at that point. You know what I mean? So how we doing on our Skunk Works bag of tricks trade for you today? XRP. I know I don't even normally trade XRP on the live stream, but we're doing it today because I couldn't give you a good one from Scalpalytics Pro right here. Go sign up. If you want to edge, you're going to need this. In addition to this, what's going to be happening is going to be changing the way I offer these services very soon, which benefits you because you really won't. Put it to you this way. If you sign up for one of these, don't worry about signing up. I have only a few people that have signed up for multiple of these signals anyway, but it's going to be changing very soon, the structure and how I offer these services. So if you've signed up for this one, you've been thinking about adding a SUI XRP or a Solana BNB, forget about it, ladies and gentlemen. Just forget about it. Don't worry about it. Don't hold off on that. Just get one of them, because whichever one you have will be converted into the new system, where essentially it'll be like plug and play, or you can add packs to it, and buying those packs, you will be able to essentially add this signal to any chart that I've got parameter packs for. So it can be for stocks, FX, whatever. Other cryptos, of course. So you're gonna get a slew of options, all with one signal. Okay, coming very soon. Coming very soon. You're gonna like that. For the scalping. And eventually I will do it for the swing trading as well. You know, the Moonalytics is a swing trading system, really. And speaking of Moonalytics, let's take a look at Moonalytics. All right, Moonalytics. Let's pull that up. What we got going on for Moonalytics? So Moonalytics, we were short on Moonalytics at the turn of the lunar cycle. Excellent trade right here. If you have, I know I got a few people that have signed up for that have the Moonalytics, so I'm hoping they took advantage of this signal. This was an awesome signal right here. We went short, double short on September 21st on Bitcoin at the turn of the lunar cycle. Took 50% of our profits right there. Took another 25 here, another 25 here, another 25 here. And boy, we bought out of this trade right here, man. We're almost back to, we made a round. See, this is what I'm talking about. Never, I don't care what they say, buy and hold. That's some bullshit, man. It's a lazy way. I wouldn't say lazy. It's a less responsible way of investing, buy and hold. Nowadays, you got to do more than buy and hold if you want to actually beat the market. In my opinion, it's just my opinion. Over time, because you can say buy and hold was excellent and worked and outperformed. If you've been in Bitcoin like myself, you've been in Bitcoin for years and years and years. Even if you got in 20 or 19, 17, and you just did a buy and hold strategy, yeah, that's going to work for you for sure. That's going to work for you up until now, but going forward, I don't think it will. I think people that have a strategy will outperform those buying and holding. The longer, I just said this, the longer a market is open or in existence, the more that strategy, in my opinion, doesn't work all that thing. I think you need to have active portfolio management. At any rate, I'm just saying this was a round trip. And if you would have just shorted, you would be right back. Well, if you're shorting, you definitely got to have an exit strategy, because shorting carries inherently more risk than going long. And typically, just because inflation in every market tends to make all markets go higher, or in dollars priced higher over time. So shorting is carries more risk than going long. It's just inherently, this is what it is. This is what it is. But yeah. Round trip on this short if you didn't get out and manage it correctly. So just an example with Moonalytics swing trading. And Ethereum, same. Well, not actually. We're nowhere near initial entry for Ethereum, because that bad boy dropped big time. So Ethereum, we're still about 6% away from entry on Ethereum. But we've taken, profits all down here. Just tearing it up. with Moonalytics. So check out Moonalytics. Again, it is a swing trading system, but I will have swing trades for signals for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the others available too very soon. So visit bloodalytics.com for more information. Hyman asks, any thoughts on BlackRock creating a Bitcoin yield? You know, I saw that, bro. Sounds Ponzi scheme-ish to me. Unless they have unless they're using Bloodalytics, you know. I mean, I guess you can extract some yield out of holding Bitcoin, because in order to extract yield, you have to take risk. That's just how it works, right? Any offering, any product that says they can give you something back, they have to take it from someone else. That means they have to take risk in the markets and extract wealth from someone else, because trading is a zero-sum game. And I think investing is also a zero-sum game. It's just the game is extended out much further out to where everyone, how can I put this? No one over time will end up getting taken by someone else, because there's always new players coming to the game and you can take from those players. So when you're talking about investing, it's so much stretched out of a period that you don't see the zero-sumness of it. But trading, active trading, day to day, yes, it's big dog eat little dog. It's a dog eat dog world. You know, it's a zero-sum game. You win, someone else loses. So you want to be in the winner's circle. You want to be in the winner's circle. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. They are using the same strategy as Yield Max. It's a cover calls strategy. All Yield Max ETFs are down over 30% except HO. It's even hard for big players to beat the market. It's actually harder because they move. Any move they make, like I can have a strategy that is just crazy, like a hedge fund would die to have. But the more money you apply to that strategy, the more it affects the market, the more people see your trades, the more people pay attention to you and see what you're doing. It just, the law of large numbers is, it becomes very hard for profitable strategies to stay profitable as you scale in and bring in new money or more money. So got to stay under the radar. But yeah, that's crazy, man. It's down 30%. Yeah, it was going to be interesting to see how this works. I just can't see this working. And you know, BlackRock got a lot of tech. They got a lot to throw at it. I understand that, but I can't see it working. I can't see it working, guys. Just to be honest with you. That's pretty much it for today, though, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're still watching this trade. I had to give you something. We're just about flat on this Ethereum short from the Skunkworks lab over at Bloodalytics. Okay, highly experimental. It's cutting edge stuff I'm giving you here. Okay. So you're dealing with something that's very cutting edge. So see how that pans out. Entry is right around here where we are on this short for Ethereum, for XRP. You got your stop loss set up here at $2.93 and 59. And then we have our take profit at $2.87. You're taking all of your profit off of this trade. This is not one of those trades where We just hold it open until we scale out of it, like the Scalpalytics trades. Slightly different strategy. No, it's not even slightly. It's a totally new strategy we're dealing with here. All right, so hopefully that pans out for you. Hit the like button on the way out, because I believe them likes are looking dismal. Let me go over to the channel and check what we looking like on those likes. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. It costs you nothing to hit that like button. There we go. All right. Appreciate each and every one of you. I will check you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Okay. Ready?
Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live.
Okay.